It really gets my blood going. How is everybody doing out there? Let's go ahead and get this party started right. So, for those of you who don't know who I am the the legend, the myth, the great Reginald Ringgold, investment coach extraordinaire, market leading expert leading market specialist. I was trading Forex and futures for years, but now this cryptocurrency thing has kind of got me losing sleep. But my wallets, I would say my wallets aren't light. So, the topic of today is got Bitcoin. Got Bitcoin. But a little bit about my background before we go over Bitcoin. Obviously, you guys can go on reginaldringo.com. You can get a little more information regarding my background. I started out, my trading career many moons ago. Back in high school, I remember my mother would, you know, she would always tell me, instead of wanting Nike shoes, why don't you get stock? Blah blah blah. And I would literally be, I'd be upset and annoyed because I would have to buy Nike stock before I could buy Nike shoes. So as far as I'm concerned, the the biggest thing the biggest thing for me that I learned early on is the need to invest before we spend our money. So before I was able to buy CDs or Walkmans, I had to buy stock. So give me 1 second, you guys. Let me check the mic. Can you guys hear me? Text if you can hear me. Type a one if you can hear me. All right. Just want to make sure that you guys can hear me. So before I could buy, I guess a Walkman, I would have to buy stock, things of that nature. So my mother was very good in making sure, and she instilled in me a financial literacy and just the importance of building a portfolio. I remember in high school, I wanted to play basketball. And when I started playing basketball, I was very passionate, just as I am about the markets. I was passionate about playing basketball, but those of you that know me, you know that I'm 5'7", maybe about 130 soaking wet. So I remember very well, I was in 11th grade, and she would tell me, you need to have a backup plan because what if this NBA dream doesn't work? I was the kid that walked around school with my basketball, and all I talked about was basketball. So she tells me, she says, you need to have a backup plan. And I looked at her kind of like a naysayer. For me, the only thing that I wanted to do at that time was play basketball. So she sat down and gathered some news clips and information on some of the hedge fund managers at the time that were making a lot of money. We'll say a lot of money compared to even athletes. And she comes to me and she says, you revere Michael Jordan, you look up to Magic Johnson, and these people are doing pretty good. They're rich, but there are people out there that are wealthy. There are people that cut their checks. The people that own the team cut the checks. He said, not only there are people that own the team, but there's a person that owns the league. And if you own, let's say, a team, then no one can tell you can't play. You don't have to get drafted. You can, put yourself out there on the court. So immediately light bulbs go off. And I'm like, wow, so she took it a step further and she says, David Tepper is a hedge fund manager. And she said that he made more money than all athletes combined that year in all sports. I mean, so that was very powerful. So she basically shifted my focus and helped me see where the money was. She also said that, there is no expiration in terms of how long you can do it. It doesn't discriminate on age, ethnicity, or your physical physique. So from there, I just started to focus in and look into certain things. Around that time, I got wind of the movie. It was the movie Wall Street. And in that movie, they talked about, trading stocks, different deals, and just the game, and Gordon Gekko, when I got wind of Gordon Gekko, I knew what it was that I wanted to do and where I wanted to shift my focus. At that time, it was just a backup plan. To me, if I didn't make it to the NBA and no one could tell me I wasn't going to make it, if I didn't make it to the NBA, My backup plan was to trade and run money. Now, instead of putting up points on the scoreboard, I put up points in my trading account, trading various indices as they're measured in points. So I remember when I started college, first year in college, I had my son at a very early age, and I had to make a choice between paying the tuition or paying for raising my son first year out. And having a child is very expensive. So obviously, I dropped out of school, but kept going. Continued to go and learn what I could learn, and then I opened up my own fund at the time. It wasn't really a fund that was licensed or set up, but it was just really for me to, let's say, instead of manage my money, we'll say lose my money, because that's all I was doing. But I transitioned into different parts of finance, started working in side banks, doing real estate, and I was pretty high up in the real estate industry. We actually opened up a mortgage brokerage, and then all of a sudden the market collapsed. It was around that time where I was at my wit's end, so I decided to shift my focus to trading the markets. And to make a long story short, it is paid off exponentially. I've done lecturing for different platforms, different schools and academies. Now, fortunately for you guys, the moment is here. I am now on my own platform. It's no holds bar. I can show you my accounts. I actually can help you guys take trades and give you direction as to where to go with this thing. And for those investors that are with me already, that are on this call, they're already seeing the fruits of the labor and receiving rewards from the benefits of being a part of the Block Traders Corner. We'll talk about the Block Traders Corner a little later, but for now, we're talking about myself, this beautiful guy on the screen. I'm just kidding. So let's move on here. So obviously the disclosure, let's talk about the disclosure. Well, let's not talk about the disclosure. Obviously, you guys know there are risks involved with trading and investing, but there's risk involved in anything we do. In fact, when you get out the bed, there's risk. You can stub your toe or step on a toy just from stepping out the bed. As soon as you walk out the house, things can happen. So as long as it's a calculated risk, we're okay. So that being said, give me 1 second here. Let's double check to see if we can see this slide here. All right, give me 1 second because the slide deck is a little stuck here. Hold on 1 second, you guys. All right. So Bitcoin, the main reason a lot of you guys are here, there's been a lot of hype around Bitcoin. And obviously with Bitcoin, it's been around for almost a decade now. And there's been some altcoins that have came out, but obviously, we've been hearing a lot of hype around Bitcoin, and it's actually starting to get kind of annoying to me, if you ask me. Please don't be one of those people that text me, call me, or email me, or direct message me asking me, hey, Reg, what's up with this Bitcoin? Or I'd like to invest in Bitcoin. I mean, obviously, I don't really mind if you're coming to me and you're eager, but just understand that, I've been talking about this for a very, very long time. So for those of you that are just now getting in, it's almost like you've been under a rock. But fortunately for you, I'm here to lift that rock and take the veil off and actually show you some of the wondrous things that are inside blockchain and the cryptocurrency sector. So, but why the spotlight on Bitcoin all of a sudden? Well, Japanese investors are increasingly switching from traditional Forex trading to Bitcoin. So you can see that we're experiencing a shift in paradigm. You can see here in this article, it says, we think that retail investors are shifting from leverage Forex trading to leverage cryptocurrency trading. Japanese men in their 30s and 40s who are engaged in the leverage Forex trading are driving the cryptocurrency market. All right, that's pretty apparent with the liquidity that we see pretty much moving and driving the marketplace. It's no question. So high risk, high return. Leverage cryptocurrency trading services are available in Japan. For example, GMO Coin offers 5 times or 15 times or up to 25 times leverage, 25 to 1 on Bitcoin yen trading. There's no transaction fee, but there is a leverage fee per day. So you can actually see that this market is moving. Sometimes you get some brokers that are giving even more than 25 times leverage. Some of them will give you 100 to 1 leverage. So you can see that the market is shifting. There is a paradigm shift in the marketplace. So Bitcoin's price just jumped 1,000 in 24 hours. I'm sure you guys have actually seen that the spikes. The spikes have been, evident. And I've been in Bitcoin for quite a while, and we just recently are seeing an explosion in the price. There's been some years where the price was pretty stable, and now you're actually seeing where price action is giving us, some pretty good movement, so to speak. I guess the slide deck is frozen for whatever reason. Give me 1 second here. I cannot understand why the slide deck would be frozen. All right, I think I'm just going to leave it like this. That should probably work. All right. So you've also seen other coins that have seen a increase in their price, an exponential rise. Litecoin earlier this week, it's seen an explosion in its price. It jumped from, I believe it was like $105 to around $336. It's now pretty much sitting at around $300 a coin. There's also other coins such as Ripple, which is actually now a lot higher than 30 cents. Ripple, I believe now is trading around 75 cents, if I'm not mistaken. Give me 1 second here. This slide deck is still frozen. Hold on 1 second here. All right, so I figure what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna probably have to just kind of go back and forth between the slide deck and the presentation, mainly because I guess the slide deck, since it's not online, as you switch the screen, it's not taking the slides. So, oh well, we figure a way around it. So as you can see here, obviously Litecoin exploded. Not only Ripple exploded, but Neem had an explosion as well. So both of those coins, amongst other coins, have seen some pretty good movement. But Bitcoin's up, everything else down. Obviously, everything, when we say everything, we mean everything else, such as the stock market. All right, the stock market has been kind of dull. It's been lackluster as of the last few days, or the last quarter. A lot of the exchanges as well. We've been seeing them experience a server overload. A lot of the exchanges like Coinbase, some of the exchanges that you guys are familiar with, they've been seeing a lot of customers coming into their websites. And if you ask me, Coinbase, not only because their servers are overloaded, and a lot of times it can be hard to buy and sell Bitcoin because they have delays in taking the money out of your bank account, as well as having the coin become available, especially if you're buying with market orders, which is the only thing they offer. But they also charge high spreads. So if you ask me, there are other exchanges that you can trade with, but even those exchanges are experiencing some server overloads, as you see a lot of people coming in and trying to get into this glorious market here. So why all the hype and hysteria? I mean, again, like I said, it's been around for pretty much a decade. But I guess the true hype behind everything as far as crypto is concerned, would primarily have to be Bitcoin futures. Bitcoin futures, and I'm pretty sure a lot of us have heard the Merck just came out, I believe it was today. The CME just came out today with their futures, as well as the CBOE came out last week with their futures product. Obviously, the biggest thing that I think that you guys have to be aware of is that the futures traded with the CME is a derivative. Okay, it derives its price from the actual Bitcoin spot market. Okay, so since it's a derivative, you have to keep in mind that they're not buying or selling Bitcoin in the physical spot market because it's not cash settled. It's not Bitcoin settled, it's cash settled. That means when you deposit money into the account, you're depositing cash. If you close out a trade or the trade goes to settlement and expiration, you're going to be paid out in cash. The challenges with that is if you're looking to collect Bitcoin or gain Bitcoin and settle in Bitcoin, you're going to have to take your cash and go and buy Bitcoin in the spot market. With the delay in time, there's a lot of slippage that you're going to be faced with where you could end up losing on the trade due to slippage by not being able to reinitiate the position at where you closed out the position with the broker at, or the exchange in futures where it was cash settled. You also have challenges where there's fees for going in and buying on the buy side when you buy from a broker or an exchange. So when you combine all of that, it becomes really defeats the purpose. Not only that, the Merc is not decentralized. So it defeats a lot of the purposes and benefits that come from trading and dealing in blockchain. Okay. So another thing that I would say that makes trading the futures market in general, because I'm a big proponent of trading Bitcoin futures when it is Bitcoin settled, but it's kind of like legalized betting. You're able to trade with leverage. I'm able to have a lot more buying power. Right now, a lot of you are concerned about the price of Bitcoin as it is. I know at $19,000 a coin, the price of Bitcoin for one whole coin can be quite pricey. That's very understandable. But when we're talking about a fraction of a coin, when you understand that you can buy a fraction of a coin, that puts us in a better place and in a better position to be able to go in and build and accumulate a position in Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies, irregardless of how much we're working with as far as our portfolio and liquidity is right now at the present tense. Okay. Another one thing that I love about some of these exchanges is that they're getting a lot of their price quotes from Gemini, the Gemini index. I'll talk about Gemini a little later on. Gemini is a broker that I particularly trade with, and they're an exchange that I buy my Bitcoin and sell my Bitcoin from. We'll talk about them a little bit later on. Okay. So what did we do? Or actually, let me back up. I don't want to talk about what I did first. Let's talk about mainly what happened on day one of the trading the Bitcoin futures on the Merc. Things went so well that prices jumped 25% and they halted trading. Okay, they halted trading. Now, what they have in the futures market is a circuit breaker or a limit move. And this was some of the fears and concerns they had because they knew the shorters were going to pretty much get their, what's handed to them. So they were worried about allowing you to trade on too much margin or a move moving too much against traders. Well, it did just that. It moved 25% and then some. Well, what they did was they halted all trading. Well, what we were able to do over at Block Traders Corner, we were able to realize, and for those of you that are following my Facebook, on day one, we were up 488%. Okay, 488% return on our equity. And this is mainly because we're doing two things. We're long only Bitcoin at the present moment. There are strategies and options where we can take and short Bitcoin for the short term, taking short-term intervals as it does corrections to the downside. But for the most part, we're trading Bitcoin long. That means we're rewarded and we're paid as the price of Bitcoin rises. Now, we're also paid in Bitcoin. Okay, so our margin is also being held in Bitcoin. I'm gonna let that breathe for a second. Something else, ain't it? Now, since we are paid in Bitcoin and long Bitcoin, when the price of Bitcoin goes up, the value of the Bitcoin that we are collecting also goes higher. Okay, so it is almost like we're being paid twice, so to speak. So we experience a gain because of these factors. We're being paid in Bitcoin, as well as there are no circuit breakers or limit moves to halt our trading. Okay, and this was one of the biggest factors as to why our gains have seen an even bigger growth, as you'll see here in the next slide. Give me 1 second there, you guys. Pull this back up. As you see here in the next slide, we're up 2,983% to date. And this is simply because of the fact that, again, we're long Bitcoin. It is being settled in Bitcoin. So the Bitcoin is worth more as we are being rewarded for being right on our trade. Now, another thing that makes this grand is that I get my margin back. So in essence, this is like renting your Bitcoin. I'm getting paid Bitcoin and I'm getting my Bitcoin back. I'm gonna let that breathe for a second. Woo, woo. It's like they talk about selling calls in the options market on stocks that you own. If I were to sell a call, it's like renting my stock. I'm getting paid to pretty much sell out on a price that's not going to be materialized before the expiration of the option, which means that I get to keep the premium. In this case, I'm long Bitcoin. My liquidation price is very low. Like if you come into the Block Traders Corner, hang around the block a little bit, you'll understand some of the drawdown and corrections that we are prone to see in Bitcoin, so you'll understand where your stop loss or liquidation price should be. But I'm going to tell you some glorious things about BitMEX as well. But I want to I want to take a moment to take a poll here. What is your knowledge of cryptocurrencies? Because I know some of you guys right now are probably looking at me like, what the heck is a BitMEX? What is a Bitcoin? What is a crypt coin or an alto coin, an altcoin, an Alberto coin? Obviously, you guys have heard a lot of things rumbling around, and the one thing I'd like to do is I'd like to establish an understanding here that a lot of us don't really know too much about the coin. I like to call it the coin. Most people don't have an understanding about Bitcoin, and you're not alone if you don't know anything about Bitcoin or have a limited knowledge. But I'd like to take this moment to take a poll, and I will have my faithful staff go ahead and work the poll here. And the poll is basically just to see what your gauge of knowledge is on Bitcoin. Do you have Bitcoin now? Are you trading Bitcoin at all? Okay. Here. So for those of you that are familiar with how to take the poll, excellent. There we go. So it's kind of like a mixed bag, I see. All right, good. So some of you have some knowledge. I guess most of you kind of have maybe limited knowledge. All right. Now it's kind of 50-50. Now the more knowledge is winning, then less knowledge. 50-50, so. Okay. All right. Sweet. All right. So safe to say some of us have knowledge, some of us don't, but most of us don't really understand the mechanics behind blockchain. And I'm going to actually go, or Bitcoin for that matter. So I'm actually going to go a little bit deep into what is Bitcoin. So Bitcoin has been referred to as a reserve currency. So I'm sure you guys are familiar with the US dollar. The US dollar is a reserve currency much because of the petrodollar. And with Bitcoin, it's a reserve currency for cryptocurrencies, just as the US dollar is a reserve currency for altcoins. So people who acquire, I'm sorry, US dollar is a reserve currency for fiat currencies, just as Bitcoin is a reserve currency for altcoins, mainly because a majority of people who acquire the altcoins, they do so by using Bitcoin as a proxy. And most of the altcoins, they derive their value through the exchangeability of Bitcoin. But not just Bitcoin, the Ethereum as well is gaining popularity as its price has been exploding, and you're able to exchange altcoins for the Ethereum coin as well. Now, Bitcoin's both a digital currency and an open payment network. So think of if PayPal were to create a PayPal coin, or if they had a PayPal coin before there was a Bitcoin. In essence, that would be the same thing. Bitcoin would be, PayPal would be the same thing as Bitcoin if it were to come out with a PayPal coin. So it's a payment network within which the currency is transferred. So it's a distributed open source ledger or payment system that is still in beta, and it's in beta, but it works. Beta meaning that it is still improving and being developed to be enhanced. We saw that with the recent fork and Bitcoin Cash coming out, as well as the Bitcoin 2X. But the goal of blockchain system, and those are nothing more than altcoins, by the way. But the goal of blockchain system is to enable people to break free from the walled gardens of financial networks, credit cards, i.e. the banks and PayPal, the one we just named, and the fees and different delays that we see in dealing with a lot of the banks as it stands. So how is a Bitcoin transaction processed? I know a lot of you, this is probably the biggest challenge or the biggest mystery to you, shall I say, is understanding how a Bitcoin transaction is processed. So this starts and initiates with the payer. The payer initiates a Bitcoin payment by using a third-party wallet software. Okay, it could be anything like Exodus or your exchange, and then at this point, this and other pending transactions are broadcast on a global Bitcoin network. After that, every 10 minutes or so, the specialized computers on the network, they're known as miners. They collect a few hundred transactions in a block. All right, this is why it's called a blockchain. Next, the miners process the block, reaching a consensus with the new blockchain, which should look something like this. This here. So from there, you can see the miners are rewarded newly minted Bitcoin for providing vast amounts of computing power, giving the stake and the smooth functioning of the currency, as well as disseminating the new blockchain to the entire network and recording transactions in the latest block. From there, you, the payee, can use the wallet software to see whether the Bitcoin's arrived. Once it's arrived, you can spend the Bitcoin. You can send, spend, or lend, as I like to say. Okay. Now, as you'll see on the next slide, a second here, I break down, I guess, the whole process of how blockchain works. I'm not going to go through the whole process as a whole. I'm pretty sure some of you guys are snipping the slide. Go ahead and take a picture of the slide. You can see exactly how blockchain works along with your keys. But here's the thing I'd like to kind of say to sum up, blockchain is, it's just like a car. A lot of you use some kind of form of locomotive to get around. And whether it's a plane, train, a motorcycle, most of you, unless you're a mechanic, you don't really know exactly how the inner workings of the engine or on that particular locomotive works. Same with the internet. A lot of us use the internet or even our cell phones, but we don't know what's inside behind the internet that makes it work. Or even in the phone, we don't know the mechanics inside the phone that allow us to dial and call somebody and be able to communicate with someone halfway around the world. All right. So the same thing with blockchain and Bitcoin. You don't have to understand how it works on the back end to be able to have and benefit from its use in your everyday life, and as well as make money. But you can see here, and I don't know if we can on the slide if it'll show it properly, but how does blockchain function like the internet? Well, payment systems today, they're where the email was in the early 80s. Every provider's they build on their own system. So the customers, they have to use different systems to be able to interact with, the different exchanges, different brokers, and different platforms. None of them integrate or work together. But with the discovery of blockchain, the market anticipates the possibility of big companies losing control over the flow of people's money, just as they lose control over the flow of information when the internet came out. So this is very important that you understand, and you can see different developments coming out, such as Visa filing a patent for blockchain-based digital asset network. Recently, not just Visa, but lots of different big behemoth and conglomerates, financial conglomerates, have been filing patents on blockchain, as we'll talk about them a little bit later on in the slide. The why blockchain, okay? Well, there's a lot of hype around blockchain. Blockchain, it's valuable not just in exchanging value through currency or cryptocurrency, but blockchain also has value in other things as well. There's a lot of different companies that are using blockchain. You can also see blockchain bring efficiency to originating, servicing, and trading financial instruments as well as other things. But we also have the privacy that comes from blockchain. Okay, the system, it may remain totally private if desirable. The key differences between public and private blockchains can be found further in the different protocols or the different things that you write into the smart contract. If we're talking about, what you're developing when you're developing a certain platform to put a certain token on. Ease, it provides an easy mechanism for you to be able to allow users to securely transfer and assess your assets between parties and facilitate an easy audit of accounts, as well as for not only you, but your clients, if you're talking about a business, as well as, your portfolio that you're managing. Flexibility is very important. And the one thing that blockchain does give is flexibility. This doesn't mean that you have to have everything public or you have to do things a certain way. You can have things pretty much tweaked to your liking. A lot of the layouts, the dashboards are tweaked to your likings. They even got this ability to change the skins. The QR codes, you can change some of the QR codes to show your specific name. But the one thing that's going to be constant is that they're all using wallets and special key codes to send and receive Bitcoin or other altcoins. Okay, so beyond Bitcoin, and let me actually put this particular slide here up. So beyond Bitcoin, blockchain is used for a multitude of different things. Blockchain, it underlies Bitcoin and enables institutions to transfer and record assets other than digital currency without an intermediary. So it's also used for remittances, diamonds, as well as other valuable high-ticket luxury items or high-end assets that need to be traded or transferred across the globe. Property titles, land records. This is something that is starting to move into the space and facilitate blockchain and public ledger. Interbank payments, as well as airline miles, accounting for certain publicly traded companies, U.S. Treasury repos, private shares, syndicated loans, as well as gold. One of the things that I think will be very big is one of the first countries that can get it right and use blockchain as well as a cryptocurrency and peg it to gold. They will see their currency be one of the big dogs on the block and kind of dethrone the dollar or take market share. But obviously, that's if they can't outbeat Bitcoin first. But non-financial use cases, so digital content, document storage, you got different companies like Bitproof, Scribe, Art Plus, Chainlink, Stampery, BlockTech. There's a lot of different companies out there that are using for the digital content aspect of it. authentication and authorization. They're starting to use blockchain for authentication and authorization, such as the Real McCoy, Degree of Trust, EverPass, Block Verify, digital identity, which is going to be very big moving forward in the future. Uniquid, OneName, and Trusted Tone are companies that are using blockchain and discovering that blockchain can help in digital identity, as well as marketplace. There's a marketplace providing premium rights and brand-based coins for different things like My Power offers the ability for you to sell your different things for online as well as services for Bitcoin and altcoin. Real estate, diamonds, gold, silver, reviews and endorsement. Blockchain's also showing in IoT, which is the Internet of Things. And the biggest thing is the financial use cases. I think the financial use cases are going to be very, very big because never have we seen in a industrial revolution a innovation that is going to affect and change the way that money is transferred or money and value changes hands. The powers that be, the Rothschilds, the Merovingians, the Schiffs, the Oppenheimers, the Rockefellers, I'll stop there. But the powers that be, they have had a stronghold on banking for a while, and blockchain is going to see this stronghold pretty much now leave their hands and be a level playing field where everyone will be able to take advantage. Now, I'd like to show you guys this particular slide here, which is a breakdown of the different case uses that you'll see inside blockchain. Okay, we've got retailing, person-to-person remittances, financial inclusions. The biggest thing is that a lot of this stuff is starting to be integrated. Obviously, the introduction of blockchain combines cryptography, my apologies, that's a tough, and distributed computing to deliver secure, direct, peer-to-peer transactions. It's instant trust, okay, without the need for a third party or a central party. At the heart, the distributed ledger of the distributed ledger. This is a tamper-proof public network hosted on a record of all consensus. So you can see that it's something that allows us to be able to transfer anything, for that matter, instantly, without high fees, delays, or any third-party intervention. Now, blockchain numbers. There's 921 million cumulative VC investment in the Bitcoin and blockchain companies as of October 2015, and that number has actually grown exponentially. We've seen it jump to billions now. There are a bunch of different companies in the space. The funding in total or raised in the blockchain computer developers, 21 Inc. was actually one of the coins that did a initial crowdfunding or an ICO. They raised 121 million. And then there's 805 number of early stage Bitcoin and blockchain companies that are identified in the venture scanner. So there's a lot of different companies that are moving into the sector. And in fact, every day we're seeing new coins and new companies coming into the sector. Is actually the greatest transfer of wealth that we probably have ever seen or will ever see until something else comes in greater. But probably in our lifetime, we won't even see anything that comes close. Okay. So what is blockchain? Blockchain, I've been hearing a lot about the blockchain. Is it a block with a chain on it? No, that's not the case. Blockchain is decentralized. That means there is no one central location that can be hacked or attacked, so to speak, or shut down. It's non-government, and that's what makes it powerful. Remember these bullet points here, because these are some of the things that you want to kind of shape your focus around as far as these coins are concerned. So it's non-government. It will say blockchain technology. Yes. All right. Or some kind of smart contract. All right. ERC20 smart contract. Peer-to-peer. That means it's not bank-to-peer or broker-to-peer. It's peer-to-peer. Open source. So it's a public ledger. You can actually see everything as it's there on the public ledger. And it's also safe and secure. Okay. So because of these factors, we have instant trust in a world where there isn't any, especially in the financial sector. It's pretty much, hard to find instant trust. And this is why we have a lot of these third-party intermediaries. So as a result, you can see that Bitcoin's becoming a safe haven from hyperinflation for a lot of rich Latin Americans, as well as a lot of wealthy around the world. You have people in countries like Venezuela and Puerto Rico and many countries that are using Bitcoin as a medium of exchange, mainly because of their corrupt government and hyperinflation, which is causing their currency to be devalued. But they're calling Bitcoin the new gold. Now hold your horses. The one thing that Bitcoin is not is gold. I'm Ringgold, so I will co-sign and back gold all the time, all day, every day, because I love gold. Gold is tangible. You can hold gold. If I have gold in my hands, there is no counterparty risk. Bitcoin, the same thing. Bitcoin can be something that I have no counterparty risk on when I'm holding it in my cold offline wallet, but you still can't physically hold the Bitcoin. Now, there have been some instances where they've made Bitcoins and physical Bitcoins, but I believe that defeats the purpose, because if I'm putting a physical coin into existence and putting the serial number or the key code on the coin, then it could easily be stolen or burned down if my house were to burn down. So Bitcoin being the new gold, I wouldn't say just that. But Venezuela default, Puerto Rico bankruptcy judge freezes bankruptcy freezes bond payments. You got a lot of stuff going on around the world right now as it pertains to finance. I mean, there is things going on in Brazil and have been going on in Brazil for a while, but the corporate woes linger. Venezuela defaults fears are, I guess, increasing as billions rise in debt. They're eating zoo animals out there now because it's so bad, and has been bad because the government's gone corrupt. In fact, the government stopped posting the inflation numbers, mainly because things have gotten away from them as far as inflation is concerned. In China, there's been bond defaults that have been, on the rise, first ever in the history of the People's Bank of China's reign. And also too big to fail, proving tough to tackle as banks fight bail-in bonds. We heard about bailouts, but bail-ins are when the bank physically just takes the money out of your bank. Okay, you're the creditor. Bail out, you're the debitor. The bail in, you're the creditor. And I don't really like being a creditor and having a non-recourse loan where I'm not getting my money back. And again, they're freezing the bond payments. That means that the debts that they owe, they're not paying. So we've lost trust primarily. You haven't, I know I have. And then what are we seeing in the sector, in the banking sector? As a lot of the news, I'm sure you've heard, the news has been doing as much as they can to talk down on Bitcoin. And it's kind of a shame. Glorious coin, we call it the coin. But obviously, the biggest thing is JP Morgan. Let's talk about JP Morgan. Jamie Dimon, he calls Bitcoin a fraud. He's then fined $4 billion for actual fraud over there at JP Morgan. Dimon calls Bitcoin a money laundering tool, while the Swiss authority FINMA cracks down on them for money laundering. Then in December, he recently writes that Bitcoin can replace gold. Oh man, no, we don't trust you, Chase. Okay, if you're banking with Chase, I wouldn't trust Chase. Okay, they should be chasing you for your money, as they shouldn't be trusted. But they've recently tried to file for patents on blockchain, and they've tried to file for patents 175 times, and officially have been blocked 175 times. Mainly because Bank of America has filed for the blockchains and kind of beat them to it first. So you can actually see that it is quite interesting, but no surprise that they would be filing for patents on blockchain, okay? But Bank of America, we can't trust Bank of America either. Bank of America was one of the biggest ones they were a part of, and the reason that we had the financial collapse back in 2008. So we can't trust Bank of America either. What about Wells Fargo? Can we trust Wells Fargo? No. Wells Fargo, they still face over a dozen probes tied to the fake account scandal. The fake account scandal. Ain't that something else? So anybody heard about it? For those of you that haven't heard about it, you probably still have some money with Wells Fargo, because obviously I don't think that they would be open right now if everybody really knew and understood what they were doing. But they were stealing money from people's accounts. They walked away with a lot of money, paid a little bit in fines, and the managers were put under a lot of pressure, and they say it was unbearable, but I'm sure that the people in upper management were giving rewards for stealing pennies at a time out of your bank account. And I mean, it's mainly because, think about it, when you have money with a bank, they can take money out your bank account at any time, okay? Because they control the bank. They control the bank accounts that go into the bank. They control the money that goes into those bank accounts. With blockchain, no one can go in and take the money out of your e-wallet unless they try to hack it per se, or unless you give them the key codes or send it to them. So seize my Bitcoin? Not really, right? Not really. I think not. Because why? Bitcoin has a lot of security measures that go into Bitcoin. The security measures that go into Bitcoin are some of the things that make it the most powerful. Blockchain as well. But we have two-step verification authentication. With the two-step verification authentication, you're able to actually see the email or text message come in, and when the text message comes in, from there, you type in the two-factor code and then you're logged in. If you don't have access to your cell phone or the email, no one can get into that account. So the two-factor authentication is something that the banks could do. Instead, the banks will freeze your bank account or freeze your card, blocking your ability to be able to go in and spend your money that's yours. In fact, it's a lot easier to put the money into the bank, much harder for you to take the money out of the bank. Now, give me 1 second here, you guys. So, Lagarde says ignoring cryptocurrencies may not be wise. You think? She stated earlier this year that at a conference, she said that she believes Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies will give traditional financial institutions a run for their money and eventually replace banks and financial institutions by eliminating the necessity for intermediaries and third-party service providers. So this was very, very important when she spoke. In fact, they're actually having another meeting, another G20 meeting coming up recently or very soon. But she says ignoring them may not be wise because she understands that the need for the third parties and these intermediaries is no longer a necessity. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with AML, anti-money laundering requirements, as well as KYC, know your customer, know your client requirements. And this is a lot of the things they put you through just to go in and open up an account. And there's no way that different jurisdictions and countries can have the same guidelines to open up accounts, as they don't have the same numbers and reporting requirements. So they're going to be different amongst various jurisdictions. A lot of them, they just choose not to deal with other jurisdictions that have more red tape and regulation. So especially our jurisdiction, they tend to block us, China, and other jurisdictions out from the party. But for the most part, when you deal with Bitcoin in general, it doesn't matter whether they claim to have us blocked. All it takes is a good old email address and a VPN to be able to get access to a lot of this stuff. So there really is no way that you can, actually go in and police blockchain or restrict blockchain or regulate blockchain or Bitcoin for that matter. But Lagarde was right. The reason I say that she was right, she was spot on, because now what we're seeing is the rise of cryptocurrencies. And not just in altcoins, but just cryptocurrencies from different states. Okay, Dubai's the first nation state to issue their own cryptocurrency, and you see other countries now following suit, such as Japan, different Iranian nations following suit. But you can even see on over here to the left, they got their different banner. I pulled that thing right off of a website. I was looking up some stuff, and it was an ad telling me to buy the coin. Now, I'd like to do a quick little test, just a quick one. I'd like to see with what I've showed you about blockchain so far, what would make a Dubai coin or a Japan coin, excuse my language, crap? I apologize for that. Excuse my language there. Give me some. What will make it? Let's see here. Hold on. Let's see if I got it. I don't think some of you guys know yet, huh? Yeah, okay, controlled by government. Okay, government involved. That means it's not decentralized, right? Right? Not decentralized. Sure as heck ain't non-government, right? Dubai isn't the capital city of the world. You got it, Eric. No, it isn't. Last time I checked. And Private says, yes, that's correct. Oh my goodness. Institutions. Yes, that's correct. Yes, that is correct. Not decentralized. What about Japan? Maybe Japan? No, not at all. Now they're supposed to be coming out with a Fed coin. Man, Fed coin, that cracks me up. I see some of my fellow students in here from the blast from the past. We're about to jumpstart 2018. It's going to be a good year. So let's talk about this transfer of wealth that we're seeing. And a lot of us are holding some form of fiat, okay? So what is this transfer of wealth we're seeing, okay? Net foreign assets of U.S. treasuries by official institutions officially have been seeing a serious decline. It started, you guys. Foreign institutions and governments are now dumping treasuries. And let me give you a little bit of layman's. That means they're selling US dollars and long Bitcoin. Sanctions drive Bitcoin appetite. As we should all have a Bitcoin appetite. North Korea dodging sanctions with a secret Bitcoin stash. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with SWIFT. SWIFT is the payment processing system or a payment network. SWIFT, my bad. I'm over here thinking of my Swiss bank account. SWIFT allows nations to send and receive money on the SWIFT network. And the IMF, as well as the US monetary system, what they would primarily do is block any nations that would not play ball from using the SWIFT network. And a lot of the Iranian nations developed Sucre to be able to, send and receive money, but there isn't that much liquidity in that pool, as not that many people use those currencies because they're not that prevalent in international trade. But SWIFT, yes, SWIFT is very liquid. Bitcoin is becoming a rival. Biggest reason that Bitcoin won't go anywhere and will be around forever and a day, as long as there is a need to exchange value, is because it allows you to transfer value without a third-party intervention, almost for a fraction of the cost that you pay in our current market. Right now, the current market cap is 614 billion. I had to say the because some of you probably would have heard and misheard and thought I said million. 614 billion. Yes. Bitcoin, it's about 316 billion of that. Altcoins, 297 billion. So Bitcoin has a 51% dominance in the sector, but Bitcoin's a lot bigger than a lot of stocks that we're seeing in the marketplace. I believe that Bitcoin's market cap almost at one point last week reached as high as JP Morgan's. So how tokenization is putting real world assets on blockchains. Assets will be tokenized and it will change finance. What is tokenization? Tokenization is the process of converting rights to an asset into a digital token on a blockchain. There is a great interest by financial intermediaries. Okay. Yes. Whoever asked 2,983%, that was one trade that I've been building. But think of the one trade is a trade where I scale in. That means I'm adding on a position. We'll talk about it a little later though. So assets will be tokenized. So a lot of the ICOs and token offerings that you're seeing that are coming out are mainly because there is not as much red tape or boundaries or restrictions to be able to solicit to investors when you're talking about moving to a blockchain structure or platform, as well as the full transparency and a ledger of all accounting of what goes in and what goes out and to whom it went to. Okay. Now, one of the things that I find, very funny, I find it hilarious. I like to say that one more time, hilarious, is how they talk about all this regulation, right? All this regulation. Bitcoin regulation. One of the things that was said a while back, and this was in 2014, please don't think that Bitcoin has changed. A lot of the hoopla about the fork was propaganda, and it just birthed altcoins. But the fork can't change something that is already done. It's a protocol that was written. It's done. Finito. Put a fork in it. It's almost like a virus. If I take a virus and I release the virus, I can't do anything about it. It's gone. It's released. I'm the person who created it. I can't control it anymore. So Satoshi Nakamoto, the person who created, or the group that created it, or the moniker that created Bitcoin, once he released it to the open source, we lost our ability to be able to control or change Bitcoin. So you can regulate this thing, which is good for us, baby. And as you see, I was right, VPS cloud server, VPN. It's funny, this adds there because this is the gateway. This is the way out. Oh man, regulating the coin. So next up, let's talk about fake news. A little bit of fake news, propaganda, because you know that they got a lot of propaganda going on, right? What are some of the 10 biggest lies that are told about Bitcoin? Bitcoin funds terrorism. Well, we'll start with the most asinine assertion here. Obviously, we'll have to start with the terrorism, okay? Although the entries in this list are pretty dumb, this is probably has to be the dumbest one, right? Funding terrorism. Terrorists and terrorist sympathizers, if you want to blame the crypto, try the US dollar, which has been used to fund more wars and proxy wars and bombings and hijackings and insurgencies than any other currency in the world. In fact, in 2016, Europol found no evidence that terrorists were using cryptocurrencies to fund their activities. It's not to say that it hasn't happened and won't happen, but it's telling you, however, that only the people linking Bitcoin to terrorism are the government seeking to crack down on the digital currency. If the major terrorist attack funded by Bitcoin were to occur, we'd never hear the end of it. But yeah, we'll talk about it regardless. Next, one of my favorites, the bubble. Bitcoin is a bubble. We hear about the bubble, the bubble, the bubble. It's not a bubble. It's the pen that will pop the bubble. I mean, where do we even start with this one? It's not a bubble. It's not going to come crashing down to earth. It's certainly not going to return to zero. I mean, heck, if you could all help me bring it down to zero, it would be nice because I'd right back to the moon again. I take it back. I got too much more for it to be going back down to zero. I'd be having a heart attack here. But we've long passed the point of no return to zero. It's not going to happen. Okay, but that won't stop the B word from being trotted around every time Bitcoin sheds another $1,000 or $2,000 to the upside. Now, there's going to be corrections along the way. There's no asset that we've ever seen in history that's just ascended straight to the moon like a rocket. I mean, Bitcoin's the only thing close or closest to being almost that straight line to the moon. But it's not about the pop. It's not a bubble at 3,000. Wasn't a bubble at 5,000. Wasn't at 10. And it sure as heck ain't a bubble at 19,000, baby. 19,000 and climbing. It still won't be next week, even though they're going to keep on posting more and more about it being a bubble. What about it's volatile? Bitcoin is volatile. For those who don't like to relish in the risk, hey, go put your money in the piggy bank. But obviously, it's not as volatile as some of the other things that we've seen. It's certainly less exciting asset to invest. There are certainly less exciting assets to invest in. But nevertheless, the notion that it's volatile, it needs to be kind of tamed a bit here because it's misguiding. Obviously, the media is pumping that. So hugely respected crypto experts would agree with me that Bitcoin's volatility is now lower than Twitter stock. Okay. Now there's still roller coaster days, but for the most part, its currency has gotten the digital currency has gotten blissfully calm relative to the Twitter stock, which has a 3.79% volatility on average per day. Bitcoin's got 2.68% average volatility, which is at par value, and the same as crude oil's volatility, which is volatile. But if you understand volatility, we need it as traders. Bitcoin is a tulip bubble. Now let's just stop. Let's stop there. Okay. I personally don't like tulips. I like Bitcoins. I like gold. I like holding assets. I use fiat. Don't really like it too much, but I use it. I would rather have fiat than some tulip. I'll tell you that much. Tulip is perishable. It's not a medium of exchange for that matter. But for those of you that wonder why I keep talking about tulip here, there was a tulip bubble or a tulip mania, and it swept the 17th century Holland. All you got to do is go into the search engine and it'll give you the backstory. But the craze, it culminated the price of a particular bulb reaching 4,600 florins. From there, the only thing it could do was crash. But the thing is, there is no real intrinsic value behind, the rubbish commodity. Now, just like seashells, pretty stones, or anything else, unless you have a bidder or someone who wants them, they're only worth it what someone's willing to pay for them. Now, Bitcoins, on the other hand, they're easy to divide. They're imperishable. They're easy to transport. They're a lot scarcer than tulips, and it allows you to be able to transfer value immediately without third-party intervention. Okay. Now, how about Bitcoin's mostly used for illegal purposes? Dollars are used for illegal purposes too. I believe that there are more dollars used for illegal purposes than any other fiat currency in the world. As a matter of fact, HSBC sends boxes to the Mexican cartel for money that's laundered through HSBC. And you think they're stopping, or when they know, or if they were to find out it came from the Mexican cartel? No, they're going to continue to collect that money, that check. In fact, recently, there's an auction. I believe the Feds are doing an auction for Bitcoin, seized Bitcoin. Why? Because it has value. So they can talk about it as junk and crap all they want, but it has value because there are bidders. There's demand for it. Okay. And another funny one. Before I move on, in 2013, yes, we had Silk Road, and early back then there was a lot of different websites and different mediums that were using Bitcoin for illegal means. When Bitcoin wasn't popular, yes, it was mainly used for illegal purposes. But now Bitcoin is used for mainly speculation as well as a medium of exchange. And I would like you to write this note down. Write this down. Okay. I hold Bitcoin. I hold altcoins. I hold most of my portfolio in gold and crypto. I use fiat for an immediate medium of exchange. That's it. In fact, people stop thinking I'm broke now because Bitcoin's jumping out the gym. I've been stopped holding US dollars. It takes me 24 to 40, or it used to take me 24 to 48 hours to convert my Bitcoin to fiat. Now I can do it in 5 minutes, and I'll show you how. As more developments are discovered, we're able to get liquid faster. But there was a joke about Bitcoin millionaires in the past where, hey, I'm worth $1 million or so plus in Bitcoin, but I can't even buy a coffee. Now those days are over, baby. I'm buying the whole Starbucks. For the love of money. And they say Bitcoin's a Ponzi scheme. No. That's not true. There are certain coins that have a multi-level marketing kind of structure, but Bitcoin does not pay you for referring people to Bitcoin. If you go buy Bitcoin today because of my recommendation, I make nothing off you buying Bitcoin, except the fact that its price rises as more liquidity comes in the market. Next is Bitcoin can be hacked. They talk about Bitcoin being hacked. This is really funny to me because, yes, you can hack a wallet that is on a exchange that is weak, so to speak. You can hack a particular wallet that is, I guess, has weak two-step security factors on it, as well as someone who's public with their key codes and information. I will show you different ways that you can protect your wealth with Bitcoin. I usually use a third-party wallet to send and receive things to before I send it to where most of my coins are stored. That way I'm not using my actual address direct interface with the public, okay? But yeah, that's that. Now Bitcoin's a fad. That's another one out there. No. We know that it wasn't a fad when it went and went past the price of gold and kept climbing, as well as when it dipped and seen all of its gains and then some, come climbing back on the board. And then last but not least, Bitcoin uses exorbitant amounts of energy. And this is the most funniest one of all. They said one Bitcoin mining transaction takes the same amount of energy that it takes to power 9 homes. This is malarkey. Man, but they'll say anything. They will say anything. So obviously, you know me. I'll tell you, like I always said when I was up on the stage, I'll say it here, behind the mic, don't believe the hype, okay? So Bitcoin too far, too fast, Bitcoin bubble forming, Bitcoin won't end well. Ooh. Meanwhile, what's Bitcoin doing? We're seeing Bitcoin rise to higher heights and heights that we actually we haven't even been able to see in any other currencies or any other asset classes for that matter. But as a result of all of the hype behind and surrounding Bitcoin, we're seeing a lot of regulation. They're starting to talk about regulation pretty heavy now and red tape, as they always do. Governments, whenever we have a way to break free from, poverty, they tend to want to come in and restrict our ability to be able to make money. But governments want to control cryptocurrencies, but obviously there's a danger to too many rules. There's a lot of liquidity that comes into the marketplace and it helps GDP and everything for that matter. So if they just come in and try to regulate the markets, it could create catastrophic effects on the market as a whole. But anybody know what's coming out in the next few days? There's something that's coming out. It's going to be pretty big. Crypto to take center stage at G20. Yeah, that's right. Need to see how we can regulate this thing is what they're trying to say here. We got to figure out how to stop them from getting all this coin. Or something else. Bunch of haters. So heading into Sunday, Bitcoin futures, the big banks, they started to refuse people from getting access to Bitcoin. And they're talking about, yes, the tax bill as well, Eric. lot of different things, coming out that you'll see down the pike. But the biggest was they tried to flat out stop your ability to get into this glorious world of blockchain. And they did this by blocking your ability to put cash into someone's bank account. I'm going to tell you why this is very important for people that purchase Bitcoin with brokers. When you purchase Bitcoin offline, you put cash into someone's bank account, i.e. the broker. When I put cash in the broker's bank account, he transfers the coin within 5 minutes of a receipt showing proof that you purchased the coin. Before you purchase the coins, you have to go through a small KYC process, simple as just taking a picture of your ID, as well as a selfie with your ID held next to your face. And voila, you've been verified. You can buy coins with no limitations, with a very minimal fee. They don't mark up spreads. Well, they pretty much put a clamp on that by refusing the ability to put cash in someone's bank account. Now you got to put a cashier's check or a money order. What that does is now it takes the turnaround time from 5 minutes to 24 to 48 hours. And it's very tough for you to be able to trust somebody that you never ever met or did business with. And it definitely opens the floodgates for somebody to run off with your coin in 24 to 48 hours with that kind of window there. But at Black Traders Corner, we'll talk about how you can be able to mitigate that and help yourself. Let's talk about the transfer of wealth that we're seeing. Recently, I have, I would say the last couple of months, I've decided to just, fully hold crypto. Let's see here. Hold on one second here. So, excellent. So I fully decided to take, the assets that I have and just hold crypto because I'm not getting rewarded for US dollars. I mean, I would do a poll, but I'm pretty sure I know the answer. Most of you have never seen your US dollars in your bank account double in their net worth, or their worth, shall I say, in a 1 month time span. Never. You never looked in your account and had 1,000 in there and came back and there was just 2,000 all of a sudden, unless you had passive income rolling in there. But the value of the dollars never went up, shall I say, in your lifetime. In fact, in your lifetime, the purchasing power of your dollar has gone down. Now, we all know why. It's quantitative easing. They've been printing more and more money. In layman's terms, they're diluting your value or stealing your wealth as the value gets transferred into their hands. So the purchasing power of the dollar has gone down exponentially, but the purchasing power of Bitcoin's gone up. The main reason of this is because Bitcoin is deflationary and most of the other coins are deflationary. They have a max coin supply. Write that down, Jack. They can't steal your wealth. They got a max coin supply. That means that once Bitcoin gets to 21 million coins, there won't be any more coins minted with the proof of work algorithm that was put into the coins protocol when it first came out. Now, dollars, I don't know. I mean, I don't go to too many FOMC meetings, but last time I checked, they keep on printing more, and them things are losing value. Now, Bitcoin futures approval sparks fears. They're saying that it could ignite a financial crisis all over again. And this isn't for me. Why ever convert back to US dollars, Adam? I don't know. Some people would say, why, but why ask why when you got coin, right? No, I guess people are scared. Some people are we don't know much about, Bitcoin or what it is or blockchain. To transfer your whole net worth can be probably one of the hardest things that you've ever had to do. And this is going to be very tough. That's why I'm over here at the forefront, baby. I'm going to be ushering everyone on in, and it's going to help collapse the financial system and put it back in the hands of the people where it belongs. But it's saying here, Bitcoin could spark a financial crisis all over again. They say that if the Bitcoin price increases acutely, it could innate a global financial crisis. This is no joke, okay? It could innate a global financial crisis. Now, it won't affect those who are holding the coin. Yeah, it won't affect us. For those of you who have most of your assets in fiat currency, you will experience a serious drawdown in your bank account as well as your portfolio. Okay. Now on this slide here, you can actually see that we've got the U.S. dollar, and you can see its purchasing power over the last, I guess, century, and it's done nothing but lose its purchasing power. In fact, it's lost 97% of its purchasing power. I'm sure a lot of you guys heard the term from your elders, back in my day. Well, I'm old enough now to say that, mainly because of how inflation is just inflating and shooting to the moon and starting to hyperinflate. But I can now say back in my day, a candy bar was 50 cents. Matter of fact, I could get on the bus for 50 cents. And little Debbie was 25 cents and she wasn't little. You bet that. Now little Debbie is little. She's little, just a little teeny little cookie. I better eat it. Now I need two. And it's 50 cents. I paid $1. Chip bag got more air than chips. Oh my goodness. It ain't because it's more expensive to make this stuff. It's because your dollars are losing purchasing power. But that's something else. But you hold Bitcoin, it's not the same. You don't have that same result. So for those of you wondering why, we have people that are no matter what, we work hard, but you still don't see yourself getting ahead. It's mainly because the money that you're working for is continuing to lose value. All right, next slide. So here you can actually see we've got S&P 500 versus the Fed's balance sheet. This one's pretty big because you can actually see how the Fed's balance sheet correlates almost precisely with the spikes and the explosions that we see in the S&P 500. So what this means is it's systemic risk or leverage. What you have is in the FOMC meetings, they're basically doing what they call either quantitative easing or tapering. They're basically just buying small amounts of treasuries to just keep it afloat or cause it to pretty much rise and show growth. So I was laughing today because they were cheering at the indices now hitting all-time highs. Man, if I was outside playing basketball against myself and I give myself a high five for dunking on the air, I'd look like an airhead. And that's exactly what they look like. Oh, yes. So you can see here the average reserve currency lifespan on the next slide. In our lifetime, the average reserve currency lifespan has been about 94 years that we've seen the average reserve currency last. And this goes all the way back to 1400. The Portugal had an 80-year run. The Deutsche Mark was an 80-year run as well. We had some longer runs, such as Spain and British. The British pound was the reserve currency before the U.S. dollar reigned supreme. Franc was before the pound. The pound switched to or moved away from a gold standard to fund wars. And it ushered in the dollar being a reserve currency. Bretton Woods pegged all the currencies to the U.S. dollar and then pegged the dollar to gold at a $35 exchange rate. Now, things were fine at that time because we had an accountable accounting system. They could only write checks based on how much gold was sitting in the vault. Problem is we never audited the vault, okay? Now, who's next up? Because we're at year 97. And the dollar's already starting to see it lose its market share at a rapid clip. We're seeing about $10 billion a day moving into crypto. All you gotta do is just do the timeline on the clip and that number's snowballing. I'm seeing these things move so fast I can't even keep up with them. Matter of fact, I was pissed because I fell asleep last week and couldn't get into a couple of coins that exploded on me when I woke up. I was so pissed off. I was like, why, Lord, why do I have to sleep? I don't ever have to sleep for that matter. Bitcoin mania could ramp up global efforts to dethrone the dollar, is what they're saying in the news. You can believe this hype. Matter of fact, I've been talking about this one for a minute. Know it. Man, I've been talking about Bitcoin for a minute too. And the fact that it is just booming and moving makes me happy. But I want everybody else to get on the ride and enjoy the ride with me. Okay? So they're saying it could dethrone the dollar. Why? Well, obviously, Bitcoin puts the power in the people's hands. We're not paying for other people's mistakes. And inflation doesn't put us in a situation where we are we're losing our value, so to speak, or our worth. And why will blockchain, I guess, do that, shall I say, and be the fingerprint behind all of this? Biggest reason, biggest reason is because blockchain is open and transparent. There's a footprint, okay? I'm able to see every single transaction that's there on the ledger and where it went. There is no manipulation. In fact, government should immediately go on blockchain if they wanted to be right and for the people, but they never would because of all the corruption. I mean, immediately. 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 I mean, there would be no more corruption. We would see everything, but they won't do it. Never do it. In fact, it would be the end of their demise, or it would be their demise and the end of any corruption in government. Okay. So we're going to take a quick break. All right. Quick break here. And I want to go ahead and try to get this slide thing also situated. But any questions before we do take a break? Because now is the time if you've got any questions. Now will be the time to ask those questions. If not, we will get started again in about, let's say, 5 minutes. Okay? All right. We'll be right back. All right, so I wanted to kind of address some of these questions I see here. So Ripple or Stellar, higher upside. Well, I'll say Ripple. Ripple has more momentum, more attention to it because it's higher up. They're also going to be using Ripple in Asia, in the Asian continent, for a lot of payment systems inside the banks. So its case use is huge. The only problem with Ripple is they got a lot of coins. Stellar Luminous, pretty dope, man. I like Stellar. It's Stellar, just as it says. It's got a nice rise. A lot of people, they move away from coins or they gravitate towards coins because of price. But the biggest thing that I'd like you guys to focus on instead of the price of the coin is percentage gain. And I'll give an analogy here, okay? If I invest, let's say, $100 in Bitcoin, and then someone else invests 10,000 in Bitcoin. Let's say that, or I'm sorry, we'll do $1,000 just to make the math sake for what I'm using, for the analogy I'm using. Now, we're also going to use a hypothetical and say that Bitcoin is at $10,000, right? At the moment, okay? If I use 10,000 to buy Bitcoin and Bitcoin goes up to 15,000, I make 5,000 and 50% return on my investment. If I invest $1,000 into Bitcoin and Bitcoin goes up to 15,000, I make $500, but I still make a 50% return on my investment. That's very, very important you understand that, because some of these coins have an upside potential of 1,000, sometimes even 10,000% return, such as the one you saw right there from Leo, BitConnect. Yes, BitConnect is one, okay? Type some more in there if you guys got some ones. GMO is another good one. Torin, another reason why GMO and Gnosis and I believe, what's the other one? I believe Agor, all those ones that are inside the Exodus wallet, those are really big, mainly because they're accessible, easy to get, okay? So cryptos, should I look at based on fundamentals or technical analysis? I'm used to technicals and forex. John, this is the thing. Because the crypto market is not as liquid as the other markets, you use the technicals to lead with, but understand that you gotta watch the fundamentals like a hawk, because there's things that can cause the market to get so whippy and it'll just whip around on you, okay? All right, so let's see if we get started again here. I guess the presentation doesn't want to slide. Okay. Let's see if my staff can get the slide deck going on their end. And hopefully we get to work. All right. So let's start back up. So let's talk about altcoins, okay? Altcoins have been the rave as of lately. It hasn't just been, Bitcoin that's been, on a mad tear, but we also have altcoins as well, okay? So one of the biggest altcoins that we've seen that, has seen a huge explosion. Hold on one second, just double check it. Is Ethereum. Ethereum has seen a big rise, mainly also because a lot of these coins are used on the smart contract Ethereum network. So it's gaining a lot more popularity, and some are saying it could overtake Bitcoin eventually. But what is Ethereum? Well, it's a basic infrastructure, standard foundation platform, turning complete scripting language and one-click install development tools, mining, open transactions, wallet like iOS and Android apps. It also has general purpose cryptocurrency network where you can use for blockchain and cryptographically secure your transactions on a platform. You can also create any customized, specialized application on top of it. It's also a secure, decentralized transaction ledger, as well as next generation cryptocurrency network. So Ethereum is pretty big. It's one of those coins that I definitely recommend that you go in and you take advantage of. But I've got another one. We'll talk more about the fundamental stuff a little later. I want to save that for a section where we'll talk about trading. I think we only have about another hour or so, and I'll have you guys out of here. But let's talk about another altcoin, one of my favorite altcoins. I think one of the most things that's probably constant in everybody's life is the fact that, we all have to live life and pay bills, okay? We all have to eat. We need a roof over our head. And these things are constant. They come on a repeated clock or schedule as it pertains to our bills, as bills are concerned. Now, I'm sure you're familiar with in your normal market space or in the normal market landscape, the ones that we're familiar with as it pertains to the equities market and the bond market, whether it's the debt market. I'm sure you're familiar with the dividends or distributions that are paid out. Obviously, if I'm trading, or I'm not necessarily trading, but holding and investing in stocks, and I'm holding a stock for the long term, I might have a stock pay me dividends. If I put money into a CD account with the bank, that CD is going to have a certain face value based on interest, and I'm going to get paid based on holding my money in that CD account. As well as if I was to purchase and invest in a bond or U.S. Treasuries or any kind of bond, whether it was a corporate bond for that matter, I'm going to be paid a certain interest based on a certain face value of that particular bond, okay? What we are seeing now is a lot of assets are, again, moving to being tokenized or moving to being coins. And one of those coins, you can see, if you look at the top 20 coins, BitConnect is in the top 20. It's actually, I believe, in top 16. If you calculate all of the coins in its total market cap, I believe would be even at around number 8. But BitConnect is a blockchain bond. It's a coin as well as a blockchain bond. They have a lending program where you're able to make a continuous interest that is on average 1% per day interest on your money. And that money is available immediately when they release the funds into the account. Now, let's talk briefly here about some of the statistics or some of the fundamentals, shall I say. 1 second here. So when I first got into BitConnect, the price of BitConnect was, I think, roughly around like $10, something like that, maybe around $10-11. I added on to the position at $25 in June. When I brought it to my investors, it was around $111, okay? 116 bucks. You can actually see here on this slide where it says 116.47.5, okay? That was the price when I made the slide a few months ago. The price of the coin when I had captured the top was $370. The market moves so much and so fast. The coin, I believe, is peaked at around like $450, something like that. Right now, I believe it sits at around $422, $450. It fluctuates because the market is not as liquid, but I mean, you see good swings. I mean, last week a couple weeks ago, it dropped to $325, and we were able to engage at $325 and see it rise back to $450. So that was a $100 gain, for every dollar you had invested. I'm sorry, not a $100 gain for every dollar you had invested, but $100 a gain for the coin. And you just seen that kind of rise. I believe it was a 33% gain or 25% gain on your capital as the coin exploded 25% in just 1 or 2 days, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, that's some coin right there. I tell you that much. Its market cap at the time I made this thing was $7,895,000. 789 million. The number is so large, it's even hard to say. 789 million was the market cap. Right now it's at 1.1 billion for the circulating coin supply, with about 2.4, 2.5 billion in the coins market cap for the coins that are inside the blockchain bond program. Okay. So what is BitConnect Coin? Again, it's decentralized. It's non-government, peer-to-peer, open source blockchain technology, which makes it safe and secure. Okay. It's its own ecosystem. Now, you can see that if you went to coinmarketcap.com, on CoinMarketCap, in, I guess, coin price, BitConnect is only number 5, okay, as far as coin price is concerned. It was approaching Ethereum at the time of writing this, but you can see Ethereum has exploded. It's almost approaching 1,000. I mean, I made this slide like maybe a week or so ago. So just understand that this market's exploding. You don't have to believe me to see it. You can see it yourself by looking at the price of these coins from just a week back to even 2 weeks back. Okay. So the roadmap, obviously with the roadmap, there were some things on this that kind of made it monumental, and I believe it was the year mark. Why does the team behind BitConnect want to remain anonymous? Just like Satoshi, all I have to do is 2 words, Adam. Satoshi Nakamoto. Moving on. Well, obviously, just like Satoshi Nakamoto or anybody else behind blockchain wants to remain anonymous, it's for their own protection. The government understands that anything that can undermine the financial system and be a threat to the financial system is something that they'd want to police and control. So any source or centralized authority they can go after. But obviously, also that defeats the purpose of blockchain. It's having a centralized control. That means that they can run away with manipulation, corruption, or just incompetence. Okay. Now, BitConnect Coin, it had its initial coin offering in November of last year. It's been around for a long time now. I know a long time, 1 year is not a long time, but in blockchain time, that's forever. Okay. Bitcoin date time, that's forever. Okay, Bitcoin's only been around for about almost 9 years, so you can see a year out of the 9 that's a long time. They created the desktop wallet in January, came out with the exchange, and then there was the lending. Okay, BitConnect lending platform went live in January as well. Now, the very important thing that I think that was the most significant was the fact that they took it and they went to the Block Explorer. And at that point, no one within the BitConnect organization was in control of the BitConnect coin or the ecosystem itself. Obviously, the bidders and the offers, the sellers inside the exchange are the ones that provide the liquidity and determine the actual price of the coin. So it's the supply and demand that actually drives this particular coin. There were some other developments such as the listing on exchanges. The listing on exchanges was, I believe, very important because not only was it listed on internal exchanges, but the fact that it was listed on external exchanges allowed you to see the liquidity and order book in a true sense, or from a true standpoint. A lot of times if I've got an internal order book, it can be manipulated, so to speak, or the orders can be easily weighted where they're being manipulated by the person that's controlling or holding a bulk of the coins. When you're seeing the exchange or the coin listed on other exchanges, if you're trading with one exchange and it goes down or sees the server kind of get bogged up, like we've seen with Coin Exchange, you can actually go to other exchanges. Okay, they then went in, was listed on Coin Market Cap, which was very important because that's almost like being listed on a list, the S&P 500 or of sorts. Then there was the mining pool, which you basically could go in and start mining Bitcoin. And mining, we won't talk about mining in this particular webinar, but we do talk about mining in other webinars. The Android wallet came out in March. Partnerships were also established in March, as well as debugging the system, and they're continuing to develop and do more debugging. But in April, the marketing campaign started to be ramped up. They came out with the iPhone or the Android app in May, and then the iPhone app in May. So basically both of them in 2017 became available. But the biggest thing is they followed the things on the roadmap to a T, and they're actually doing this stuff, which shows that they're a real company. It's not just some company that created a pump and dump coin, so to speak. And you can see that with the market cap growing to 3.5 billion. They improved the security, did a lot of promotions, did crypto awareness programs by adding some bonus programs and structures. And then the staking became available in August of 2017, which is pretty huge as it pertains to any coin for that matter, because the POS algorithms rather than the POW, proof of work, are a lot easier to manage and be able to make yield on your coins rather than buying a bunch of mining machines. They did a lot of security feature enhancements, and we are now, I believe in October, they recently came out with BCC Pay. BCC Pay was a debit card that basically allows you to spend the money within the wallet on the BitConnect platform. Now, BitConnect, how do we buy BitConnect? Well, you register for an account, deposit Bitcoin. Notice it's only Bitcoin into the BCC exchange. You then place an order. The order is executed, and then it's confirmed in your wallet. Okay. Now, just like most other exchanges and brokers that you trade with, BitConnect offers the ability to be able to trade on just about any platform, or just you also can see your account and manage things from just about any platform, whether it's the Mac or a Windows. They also have the Linux desktop. Okay. The coin, again, it started out at 17 cents initially, or not started out, but it was 17 cents in February, and since has risen to high heights. The biggest thing behind its rise is supply and demand. If you understand anything about supply and demand is very important, especially when we're talking about an asset that we're holding. This coin has 28 million coins in its max supply. And for those of you that are already inside BitConnect, you're understanding and already seeing the rise in the coin and in the profits that you're gaining from just from being a part of the ecosystem. But it's driven in demand because there is a built-in demand. It pays, baby, it pays. And it pays on time. Yes, it does. So the fact that it pays, the demand will be high and will stay high. For those that know about BitConnect, will be involved in BitConnect and will be investing in BitConnect. For those that don't, obviously the marketing and the word of mouth will end up seeing you eventually hearing about it some way, shape, or form, or some kind of blockchain bond, as there are a lot of different things out there as far as blockchain is concerned. Now, if you look at the chart, you can actually see where we started out at it was 2671 on January 20th, 2017, and then we've seen a high as of December 8th. Remember, this was 10 days ago. Okay. At $418. I believe it jumped all the way to $450, but I mean, come on, look, this is literally a way to turn your whole financial situation around. If you'd invested just $100, I'm gonna do the math real quick. Hold on one second. Let's do the math. So $100 divided by 17 cents, that would have been 588.23 Bitcoins or BitConnect coins. Now, let's say at 418 bucks, that's $245,882. Your $100 would have turned into $245,882. That's why you can't afford not to transition to crypto. You can't afford. Why are you going to work when you could have been sitting on the computer and making one trade and it would have changed your life? Okay. Hold on one second, guys. So you can see that this alone should be, I mean, I really, really want to let this sink in here, okay? Because I just gave you guys a prime example. $100, only $100 literally would have turned your financial situation around, right? All right, I'm actually going to give you the link too, Otorin, so don't go too fast. Don't go running to go sign up, all right, because you get rewarded for using a particular sponsor link, all right? But hold on one second here, moving on. So what can you do with BitConnect? There's a few things that you can do with BitConnect. My favorite is obviously investing. I like to hold the coin as well as invest in the blockchain bond platform. But staking the coin is good as well. You can put your coins up and have the ability to be able to be paid in interest, and the interest is paid in coins. It typically is anywhere between 50 to 0.25 per quarter per day in interest. Half a percent to a quarter of a percent, shall I say, as far as the staking is concerned, on the amount of coins that you're staking or putting up. And then they've got mining as well. Now, there's different coin specifications, but the biggest thing is the coins abbreviation is BCC. They've got 26.2 for the proof of work, and only 20.4 for the proof of stake. Block spacings 2 minutes. The minimum stake age 15 days. But again, max coins is 28 million. Now, how do we deposit money into the platform? Obviously, I will be doing a workshop where I go a little bit more in depth on this, but as you can see here, you again deposit Bitcoin into the platform, only Bitcoin. You buy BitConnect coin, you would then lend BitConnect coin on the platform, and then you earn daily profit. They pay you daily interest, which is typically 1%, sometimes higher. There's been days where they paid 2%. I'm not lying. I've got a lending platform, which is BitSerial. I'll go into it in a second. I got 3% interest today on that thing. Man, can't beat that with a stick. So let's take a look at what they're doing and how they're paying. Now, if you understand how I was able to turn, or how you would be able to turn $100 into over 200 something grand, just from being a novice, think about what a bot or a trading bot can do. Well, they've developed algorithms to trade their coin and other coins, and they share the profits with their investors by paying a certain interest that pays out per day. And this interest and term is based on how much you invest. You can see that they start with $100 to $1,000. They'll lock the money in for 299 days. And the interest here is just strictly the volatility interest. If you trade and do all the different things within the the scope of the coin, you can get up to 40% a month return on your money. I'm living proof. But there is no guaranteed interest on this particular platform here. Now, if you go up to the 1,010 to 5,000 plateau, it's a guaranteed 0.1%, 239 days. Okay, the money's locked in for 239 days, but you're guaranteed about 3.1% per day to 3.1% per month to 3% per month, depending on it being 30 to 31 days in the month. And that's just if you add the 0.1%. This doesn't include the volatility interest. Okay, this is the locked in guaranteed interest. On average, the volatility interest will be about 1%. There are some days where there is no interest paid for volatility because there was no volatility. Now, the two tiers that are the most powerful, where they start to really pay you more, is the 5,010 to 10,000 and the 10,010 to 100,000. Now, you can invest more than 100,000 in this platform. You just can't do more than $100,000 in any particular bond. So for the 5,010, they pay you a guaranteed 0.2% plus the volatility interest. The money's only locked in for 179 days, just under 6 months. The most valuable one, the most lucrative one, is the top tier, 10,010. It guarantees you a 0.25% interest per day, which averages out to about 7.5% per month guaranteed on your money. Plus the volatility interest, you can make, again, about 30% a month return on your investment from this platform. You can increase that if you're trading it accordingly, and we do show you how to do that within the Block Traders Corner. But your money's only tied up for 4 months. Now, here's the thing about this. Here's what makes this very powerful. Because the money's locked in, and about 2.5 billion is locked in the market cap, that creates built-in liquidity, which keeps your money safe. And as long as you're in the higher tier, you're getting your money back faster, which means you reach break even faster because of the higher yield you're making. You also get your money back before the people in the lower tiers. That means I could be in this thing for about 100 days, putting in 1,000, and someone can come in after me and be in at 101 days, and they're going to get their capital before I am because their capital is only locked in for 120 days. And they're going to be at break even a lot sooner. So this, in essence, protects you from even if the thing were to happen to see a serious drawdown or collapse. You'd be getting your money out of the blockchain smart contract, or in this case, it's blockchain. And on blockchain, it is already inside the agreement that states you get the capital back based on the end of term, okay? But you can see anywhere between 400 to 436% return on your investment annually if you go in and opt to reinvest and roll the investment back in. Now the other tiers, the two other tiers that I talked about where they're a little more lucrative, you got 472% return to 490% return on your investment. This is passive investing. Now, if you were to actively invest in the crypto market, you can make 10,000% return. That's why it's funny when people say, no, that's not possible. It's not possible in the equities market. Sure as heck ain't possible in futures or Forex. It's not possible in equities and futures because they got limit moves and circuit breakers, so they won't let it be possible because they're the ones that have to pay out. Moving on. So if you look at the different lending tiers, you can see that the terms are based on how much money you're putting into the platform, okay? If I'm putting in more, I'm being rewarded by getting back my money faster through the higher interest, also the shorter term. So the one over to the left is the one that's a little more lucrative. You can also build up by reinvesting. The thing is that the terms will be separate as each loan is separate. They're not going to be accumulated into one, okay? Now, they also got Bitcoin BitConnect trading. You can trade BitConnect. You simply just pretty much go in and buy and sell from the wallet that's inside the wallet. Mining, you have that as well. We won't talk about the mining much, but I will briefly kind of go over the staking just so you guys can kind of see the staking. So initially during the first 6 months, it was 60%. So it was 10% a month that you would get for staking your coins. Now you could stop and take your coins at any time. Obviously forfeit, the interest if you were to opt out early. But the beautiful thing with the staking is I'm not locked in for a certain term. It's a shorter term. You just have to keep them in there for, I believe, at least 2 weeks. And then from there, you're going to be able to start receiving the coins. It's a minimum of 15 days to start earning the staking interest, okay? But right now, we're currently only seeing 8% per month, but that's still pretty good money and return on my investment because I'm also seeing the gain and appreciation on the coin. When you lend and do the bond program, it's in dollars. That means you fix an fixed exchange rate, and that's the amount of money you're going to make based off that exchange rate. Now, here is the link. Staff, go ahead and hit them. Hit them with the link. So there's a sign up link to register for BitConnect. All right, that's bitconnect.co/ref =BitGod7. Okay, so those of you that want to sign up for BitConnect, go ahead and do so. I am almost done. I've got a few more opportunities to go over, so I definitely want to kind of keep the pace, keep things rolling. All right, but you guys see there in the comment section, there's the link. Want to sign up for BitConnect, please do so. You can start with $100. Just test the waters. All right. I promise you won't be disappointed. Okay. Moving on to the next. Next. This is my favorite section here. One of my favorite sections because this is what made me rich or closer to wealthy here, huh? Wealthy and healthy. Bitcoin Bonanza. Rise of initial coin offerings. Now they were saying Bonanza back at 3,550. Initial coin offerings. I'm sure you guys are wondering, some of you, ICO, initial coin offerings. What is an ICO or initial coin offering? You're welcome. You're welcome, sir. Best student of mine, you shining star. Won't say names, but you know who you are. Matter of fact, I'll say him. Mountaineer, I'm so proud of you, brother. I mean, I got one of my students. He's he is a beast. He finishes my sentences. In fact, he calls me. He says, "I would like to ask your recommendation, teacher." Then he says his he asked me for my recommendation, actually what I think about what he's about to do. And I'm almost like, man, I'm so proud because it's exactly the strategy and the approach that I am taking in today's market. And he says, I learned from the best, and so I appreciate you. Thank you. We've made a lot of money, haven't we? So much with that. That wallet is thick down there, isn't it? I bet you that. Yeah, get something. Yeah, buddy. Let's get the money. I want everybody to get the money. That's why yes, Jonathan, I am going to go over crypto exchanger. Yes, definitely will. Don't worry. Give me a second. Okay, so yes, let's do this thing. All right, so what are our initial coin offerings? What are cryptocurrency token sales? I mean, what are all these things that we see coming out? That are causing the market to have mass hysteria, because I mean, there's a lot of coins coming out, and if you're not careful, you can literally get burned. I've lost a lot of money. I've probably lost about a good $20,000 in the last 2 months on some bad coins. But I made like well over that, tenfold to where it was, cost of doing business. But we've got so many coins out there that it can be very hard to decipher. Let's talk about the ones that have the best case use, because it's supply and demand that drives any market. So we'll talk about case use, okay? So I'm gonna have to just hit you with a little bit of sprinkle dust. This is some juice here. You ready? There you go. You're welcome. I'll let it breathe for a second. And I want you to wait. Don't run to Google. I'm gonna give you the link. I'm gonna give you the direct link so you can get the special, because they got some special stuff going on with this one right now. But here you go. I like to hear it go. This ICO came out in October. As you can see on the slide, it was 50 cents. If you got in with my referral link and got in on my recommendation, you got an additional bonus of 15%, which means you got the coin for 35 cents. Now, some of you are like, okay, well, why would I want this? I want some Bitcoin. Why would I want this coin? I'm going to tell you why you might want this coin. It had a 28 million coin supply max. They came out with 9.5 million in coins initially minted, and then 8 million circulating. They anticipate this coin to go to $55 by February. Yes, I say $55 by February. Now, where's it at right now? You ready? Drum roll, please. Drum roll, please, baby. Hold on a second. Yeah, there you go, C's. My little brother C's, baby. Let's get this money, Caesar. I hope you guys are all ready to get the money. I'm just tired of getting so much money by myself. It's just so lonely. Money by myself. But where's the coin at right now? It's $6.48. It could be higher. Let me say that again, because some of them didn't hear me. $6.48. That means you got it. If you were rocking with me in Black Traders Corner, you got in at 35 cents based on my recommendation and my special link. And today it's hovering around $6.48. Go ahead and give them a round of applause. There you go. Pat yourself on the back if you got in on that. Let's get it, baby. Let's go. I got so many on this webinar right now. I mean, just sitting in the new house, maybe the new car, or got rid of the mountain of bills they were sitting on, mainly because a lot of these different things are changing their lives. And I'm all about changing lives and sharing the wealth. So for those of you that took advantage and came on this call, I'm going to change your life, okay? If you follow me, I will make you millions in blockchain, not in stocks or any other markets, but in blockchain, let's get it. But as it pertains to the other markets, they want too much money to get started. In this market, it's new. We're able to get in for a low, barrier of entry, shall I say. So let's talk about what they offer. So just like BitConnect, or very similar to BitConnect, they offer a lending platform, okay? And their lending platform is very, very powerful because it's because they're new. They offer more interest, okay? Obviously, if you do $100 to $1,000, they're going to give you a guaranteed 0.2%. The additional interest is about 1.5% on average per day, and I will actually show you as I go into my account, okay? They only lock it up for 139 days. You put in over 50 grand, they'll lock it in for 100 days. 10,000 to 50,000, they lock it in for 109 days, but you're getting a guaranteed 0.5%. That's about 15% a month guaranteed on your money. Guaranteed. Plus the additional 1 to 1.5%. I mean, man, I can't make this stuff up if I tried. Now, on top of that, they also give you a period reward, okay? So what this means is that they will also reward you for having it held in there for a long period, for 15-day, for every 15-day period, shall I say, they reward you an additional 1 to 1.5% based on how much you have invested. It's pretty powerful. Now, let's go ahead and take a look here, like you guys see. Now, what you're looking at here, and this is only for those that are on special for you. You can see my account here. This is actually one of my accounts. I have many accounts. I have several hedge funds, several pools. Now you can see here with 2,551 coins at about, I guess, like 33-cent exchange rate, about 33 cents roughly. It was worth $19,136 with the $7.50 price. Okay, and look at the interest. Interest is pretty sweet that they're paying daily. All right, so it's passive income, you guys. Passive income is what really helps to build wealth, making money while we sleep. Okay, moving on. Now you can see here they're running a promotion right now where they're giving out Bit Serial Gold. So for every Bit Serial you have, they match with Bit Serial Gold, as well as whatever you have in the lending program. But the commitment price on these will be $20, and that will be in 2 days on the 20th. That means that for every Bit Serial Gold that you have in the Bit Serial Gold wallet, you'll be able to lend it at an exchange rate of $20. Now, you do the math. Okay, my wallet's actually a little bit bigger now in Bit Serial Gold than it was when I made this slide on the 13th. But you can actually see that, that's probably worth, I think, over $80,000 or something like that. But from this platform alone, do some math. I put in, I believe, $1,000. The $1,000 will turn into $100,000. The $100,000 will net me $35,000 a month. And I get the $100,000 back after 100 days. I mean, that's some power right there. All off $1,000. That's what crypto does. Okay. 1 second there. Hold on. Now, I recently put the loan in. Hold on. As you can see here. So you can see I recently put the loan in. 22,000 was the loan. That means that as the trader that I am, instead of taking 19,000 at $7.50, the boy took $8.50. I did, right? I waited to the apex and took profit at $8.50, so we took a little more profit instead of it being a little lower. And it's been hovering right around $7 or so, but I mean, it don't really matter what it hovers at. Anything is better than 35 cents at this point, okay? But you can see the different interest payments that have been paid on this particular one. One at 1%, $330. One at 1.3% was $389. Okay, and you can see in coins based on it fluctuating there. I actually can take that, withdraw that into my wallet, and then convert it into my Bitcoin debit card and get to spending immediately. Facts. Now, moving on and along. I hope you guys are having fun because I am. I tell you that much. I am. I sure am. Now, hold on. Hold on 1 second there. Give me 1 second. Now, this is another one of my accounts here. Just trying to slide into a few of them. Got a couple of them here. Total profit. The thing only been around for a little bit. So far, about 9,000 in profit on this one. This is just simply from the referrals that I've done and referred. But man, oh man, additional 700 something in this one. Very powerful. Now here goes my link here to BitSerial. Go ahead and hit him with the link. Hit him with the fire. BitSerial link right there in the box. Boom, bammo, whammo. And then there goes that right there. Take advantage of that money. Go ahead and get you some. It's enough money to go around. For those that tapped out, maybe you had to go because you were a little tired, but they missed out. I'm telling you, don't go nowhere too fast because I got a couple of jewels. It gets even better at the end. Give me a second here. Hold on. Oh boy. I'm going to hit you guys with a couple of quick ones just to rush through. Some of them, most of these other lending ones are very similar. They're blockchain bonds, very similar to how BitConnect works. So I will give you guys this next one. No, sign up after, Eric, because there's so much that I have a couple I got to go over here. Innovation of investment, idea coin. I got a bright idea. I've got a bright idea. Idea coin is another one like BitConnect and BitSerial, okay? But they use an actual an algorithm, and they show you the breakdown for their algorithm. The thing I really, really like about Idea coin, I'll give it to you really briefly. Idea coin has shorter term. They've got one of the shortest terms in the marketplace, 90 days for their term, guaranteed 0.3% with an additional 1% volatility interest, but you can do up to 45% a month on this one. Okay. Now they just came out. They're coming out with the lending platform, and so you guys have to see this here. Okay, the lending program is coming out actually at the end of this month. I'm so excited because I got a lot of these coins. Whew. I mean, it's just, oh my goodness. The crowd sale was in November, so you kind of missed out, but you still can take advantage because when it goes on the exchange, big. You could actually take advantage of the coins, I believe, maybe at like $1.20 or something like that. And they'll continue to go higher. Please believe, please believe. Now, next, you can see that here are a few more things, but they're coming out with the debit card as well. All right, and then the smart contract, ERC20 version. This is what makes it very powerful. But again, they've got the lending program, the trading, staking, mining. Now, go ahead and hit them with the link, staff. Hit them with the fire. Idea coin. Yeah. Now, Idea coin. Don't put a lot of money in Idea coin because Idea coin's new. It's fresh. Okay. I'm giving them to you in degrees of safeness. BitConnect is probably the safest lending platform or blockchain bond platform that they have out there right now. Okay. EXA coin. EXA coin, very powerful one. I'll tell you why I like EXA coin. EXA brings revolution to the cryptocurrency markets. EXA is going to change the way things are done, mainly because they're giving not only the ability to trade based on their lending bot, or trading bot, but they also give you different trading signals. Their coin's going to be capped at 27 million. They've got it in their own ecosystem, but the bot will give you actual live trading signals. So you never stop learning, or the EA bot never stops learning. It continues to, I guess, develop new ways to go and arbitrage cryptocurrencies. It's an artificial intelligence, and it constantly learns to analyze accurately and to accurately identify trends of the cryptocurrency market based on big data and a deep machine platform. So it also supports working with multiple exchanges, as these exchanges are very, very vital for you to be trading with. Now, signals, you can see here on this next slide, you got the signals, sell, buy, et cetera, et cetera. These are given beforehand, but they're also automated when you're trading in the lending platform. You can kind of take advantage with a aggressive or a conservative approach when you're managing it yourself, but that's hands-on. If you go in and you apply, the blockchain bond or lend it to the AI, obviously you're making money passively. Okay. Now, it provides new cryptocurrency solutions. So that means that you can do the same thing you can do with the others. You can obviously lend, trade, stake, mine. Okay, all of the above. And here goes their terms for their blockchain bonds. Okay, up to 48% a month, $100 to $1,000. You can get up to 60% return on your investment. It's only locked in for 59 days. I mean, this is by far like one of the shortest terms. That's 2 months. Make 60% return on my investment in 2 months. Okay, now the only downside is you cannot get access to the signals unless you've got the coins. Okay, at least 500 EXA coins. I'm sure that number will lower as the coins become more expensive. But you guys are in luck, because I promised you I was going to give you some juice, didn't I? Guess what? This thing's live right now. It's live right now. Now! You can get this money now. This is a bit serial replay now. So for those of you that felt you missed out, let's get it in. Hurry up. Best price. I believe right now you guys are looking at a price point at $1.10. Okay. That'll be going on for the next few days. As of the 20th, it'll go to $1.20. It'll cap out at $1.30. It's still not over, because when it goes on the exchange, you can still buy it at $1.30. Okay. I know some of you guys are probably already rushing off to go sign up, and hit them with the link now, please, staff. Hit them with the link. So you can see here the ICO. This was 11 o'clock. I was up early trying to get that in. Right now, you've got about the 350,000 tranche. You can only buy 400 max. Okay. All right. Moving on. That's max per account to keep from manipulation. All right. You already have coins? I bet you do. I know who you are too. I know exactly who you are. You gifted one, you. Following EXA deadline, you can see that they expect this thing to go to 20 in January, 50 by May to July, 100 by November, 200 by January 2019. The external platform, trading platform, will be around then, but you can see internal exchange will go here. External exchanges, May to July. But it's very important that you look here to see what goes on January, February, March, as the internal exchange goes live. And I'm sure that you guys already had the link, but if you didn't see the link, go ahead and hit them with the link. Yeah, you did. I believe you did. Now, but guess what? I got a little bit of bad news. A little bit of bad news here. You cannot. Oh no, you cannot buy these with dollars. No, you can't. You can only buy with Bitcoin. Some will take Ethereum as well, but you can't buy them with dollars. Oh, no, 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 no. Mm-mm. All right. Now, I'm going to give you guys a few more, then I'll get you out of here. JP Morgan of the crypto banks. Yep. Crypterium. This one's live right now. I believe it's like maybe 50 cents or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember because I got so many coins, but you get a 6% bonus. This is going to be the bank of all banks for the crypto sector. Okay. So what makes them special? Contactless payment technology is universal for daily payments. More than 300 integrations for most popular e-commerce retail services, delivering a universal payment application for most common daily needs, successfully raising $7 million during that phase. Did that nicely. Interbanking, direct payment protocol, mobile crypto banking, and a cryptocurrency ecosystem. Okay. Cryptocurrency looks to be the next big thing. Well, you think? You think? So $10 trillion crypto banking potential. Crypterium is one of the top 50 most promising fintech companies according to the Financial IT. It looks to be the next big thing. So we are now yes and no. I'd say most aren't. So you can see that the token sales stage is 6%, okay? And most of these stages are finished. This one here, 19th, obviously it'll drop down to 3%, so you better get in now. Cryptocurrency bank for everyone. That's what they're saying. It's very powerful. And so 500 billion is expected in revenue for crypto banks by 2025. There's 200 million potential clients and 100 times faster transaction speed than your normal, as far as lower costs as well, and no borders. Nice, very nice. What are some of the other things that they are offering? Leading crypto bank for the crypto economy, mobile crypto bank, cryptocurrency acquiring, open API platform, blockchain-based loans. Oh, yes. Crypto to fiat settlements. Oh my goodness. This next slide is going to blow that mind. It's going to blow the mind. Watch this. Boom. Crypterium is a contactless crypto bank for everyone. I can pay in crypto. It's with this little swipe with a swipe. Even though I can right now with a different app called BitPay. But you can see Crypterium SX. Oh, yes, I'm glad, Eric. It's time to get it, Sensei, huh? Yes, Grasshopper. All right. This one here is so special because it'll integrate with all the different exchanges to give you the best exchange rate at all times, and then allowing you to have easy settlement with merchants. They're also creating a global crypto payment infrastructure. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. This special company here. And they'll be rewarding you by giving you some of that money back. Whew. I'm over here just looking at it, just counting my coins right now. Just can't wait till it goes live. You know, when it goes live, I'm going to be hyped. So you can actually see they've got Open Crypterium mobile bank app. You can scan the QR code, confirm your purchase, and you can get cash back up to 50%. That means I get paid to spend. Ooh, about to go shopping after this webinar. Look at that. So, technology of blockchain-based credit system. This is going to change the way that banking is done. Technology of blockchain-based credit system Credit exchange, 100% guarantee. Repurchase payback demand. Credit subtoken is a new standard of a crypto credit based on blockchain system. This is the first subtoken of its kind with a secured liquidity. Owners of the credit subtokens receive income much higher than the average market. Decentralized storage of the reputation of borrowers in smart contracts, an opportunity to use cred coins by other crypto banks. Hit him with the link, staff. Go and hit him with that file. Bam! There you go. All right, we got to move fast. I got to get you out of here. Take a look at the next one here. Yeah. Picunio. Picunio is a platform that allows you to be able to invest in cryptocurrencies as well as a pool of coins, so to speak. They can tailor the strategies to you. Give me 1 second here as I bring this slide up. So it covers the whole life cycle of blockchain innovation, from angel investing to venture capital investments to initial coin offerings. That means you can even invest in initial coin offerings inside this platform, as well as exchange traded currencies and tokens. The leverage to Pecunium's early birds are much higher than those that get in later on. So getting in early definitely rewards you. The products are, you got the cryptocurrency fund, which is a diverse portfolio of crypto coins and tokens. PCC is restricted to the blockchain assets, which is already exchanged and traded, e.g. Bitcoin, first, second generation altcoins like Ethereum, Ripper, and Litecoin are acceptable as well. And then third generation tokens like EOS, Tether, and Gnosis. They've also got initial coin offering fund and a VC fund. Instant liquidity, easy access, safe and secure. Roadmap. Let's go to the roadmap. You can see if not, we will probably host another one. So you can see here, obviously a lot of the different developments are done, but the next is the ICO launch. Once they launch the ICO, oh, it's on. Yes, it is. And go ahead and hit them with the link, staff. You can see here, boom, boom, boom. All the room. All right, moving on to the next. Now, here's a resource for you guys. I provided to my ICO partners and different resources to find these ICOs. The problem is you can get burned bad, so watch out. You will learn how to take advantage of these ICOs accordingly inside Block Traders Corner. Don't worry, I got your back, but I got to move fast. Let's move on to the next section here. Cryptocurrency trading and cryptocurrency exchange, baby. This is probably one of the most important sections, and this is the jewel I'm just going to drop to you. This is the free jewel, okay? I want to talk about some of the different things that, obviously are prevalent, buying cryptocurrency and exchanging cryptocurrency. I will say it, like I said it before, and I'll say it again. The absolute worst place to buy Bitcoins or any altcoins is Coinbase. Coinbase is almost like buying Bitcoin from the IRS. You might as well buy Bitcoin from the IRS. Inside my course, I will show you how to protect yourself by structuring your transactions on the buy side and the sell side accordingly. Okay? Just follow my lead. Now, let's go ahead and 1 second here. Let's talk about one of the special ones here. Gemini. Gemini Exchange is the first licensed exchange in the world to offer trading for Bitcoin and exchanging of Bitcoin for Ethereum, as well as exchanging Bitcoin to Ethereum or in fiat. They've got wallets. You can also open up an institutional account, which is very important. So you understand that there. Now, they're fully regulated and fully compliant, based in New York. They're both for individuals and institutions. They're regulated by the New York Department State of Financial Services, held to the highest level of capital reserve requirements. And this is why I use them. And they're held to banking compliance standards. Now, obviously, I don't hold my wealth or worth of Bitcoin with them, but I do buy Bitcoin as a source there. And I'm able to buy it with limit orders accordingly. Okay, so one second here. I'd like to share with you guys the so here's the different products that can be traded. It's 24/7 unless the exchange is down. Now I'm going to give you another bonus here, okay? Look at the fees they charge. They only charge 25 basis points. Coinbase charges like 10%, okay? That's like what, 1,000 basis points if I'm not mistaken? That's a lot of money, a lot of money. Man, it's a lot of money. But they don't charge that much at Gemini. They don't rape the pockets. Coinbase only allows you to use market orders unless you go to GDAX, which is the institutional side of Coinbase. But Gemini will let you do a market order, a limit order, limit or immediate cancel order, limit maker or cancel, or the auction limit order. It's amazing. You've got options is what I'm trying to say here, okay? Auctions. They've got the auctions as well. The auctions are your ability to buy Bitcoin at discount. That's another bit of game I gave you. I just gave you a resource to buy Bitcoin on the low at a discount. I didn't even know you could. I will actually show you in the Trader's Corner how to arbitrage these auctions. So we're there taking advantage and trading during the auctions so that we can get our Bitcoin cheap. Now, moving on, we got pretty good timing too. Exodus. So you can see here, Exodus is a very, very important wallet for you guys. It is a offline code wallet where you are able to store your Bitcoins, okay? Best for you to store your Bitcoin here rather than a Coinbase or something to that matter, all right? So just keep that in mind that you have your Exodus wallet. You can do a desktop, you can do Windows, you can do Mac, you can pretty much do Linux. They've got just about all the different, programs. So just make sure that you've got your desktop loaded. This is what the dashboard looks like. Hold on a second here. So you see the dashboard and hold on there. Yeah, I do recommend the Nano Ledger. Nano Ledger S, probably one of the best ones, as well as Cool Wallet. So here you can see the Exodus, Bitcoin, Dash, Doge. I actually have mine on a Ledger Nano S, Jonathan. I use this as kind of like the other interface where we'll have coins and other stuff like that. But you could have multitude of different coins, okay? That's the beauty. One second here. No, they're different because blockchain is Exodus is an exchange, which I actually will show you here in a second. But you could actually see the interface of the wallet. Hold on there. And the wallet is it's easy, and the good thing is it gives it to you in US dollars. Okay, so it'll tell you exactly what it is in US dollars. Now you can tell that this is old because 19 Bitcoins is not $8,000. All right, but obviously we see that we've got an interface that tells us how much we have in US dollars. A lot of times it will only read in Bitcoin, okay? Now, you can see here, QR code. Now that is not my address there, so don't get it confused. You will get my address, so you can send me some coin if you'd like to donate to my coin fund. Now, they have a little button there on the right of the thing here. You click on this, it'll bring you to the other. So you could have two wallet addresses at once. That way you can send to one address or send to another. All right. That is the beauty. They also have other coins, such as, for instance, the one you see here, EOS coin. Okay, EOS coin. Right now, EOS coin is pretty cheap. All right, but I can hold EOS coin. I can also send and receive EOS coin as well. And probably the most powerful thing about this here platform, Karush, buddy, how are you, my guy? The exchange. You are able to exchange the coins. Okay, you can exchange the coins for a very low rate inside the same wallet without having to send them anywhere else. They use the Shapeshift platform, but this is a very, very, very powerful tool to use to be able to take advantage of certain coins and be able to sell out of certain coins accordingly. All right. Another thing you can do is you can back up the coins as well. Okay. Backing up the coins is very, very important, or the wallet, because if I lose my my desktop wallet, then I'm going to be put in a situation where, my laptop, I'm going to be have to put in a situation where I'm going to have to back it up if I don't remember my 12-word phrase. The good thing is the 12-word phrase will help you to back up the wallet, okay? Now, next. Jonathan, you're probably going to love this one, brother. I got the goods for you now. He was asking about it. No. That's why there's no link, Eric. Crypto Exchanger. Exchange Investment ICO Triple Threat. This one's pretty badass. Decentralized cryptocurrency exchange. So why would a decentralized exchange be important? Let's talk about that briefly here. Okay. Crypto exchanges' primary goal is to become independent from third-party exchanges and provide a new modern platform and exchange cryptocurrencies. We aim to create a decentralized, anonymous, easy to use, and what is the most important, safe exchange that can be used everywhere by anybody. The idea of Exchange Coin was born when Crypto Exchanger was created. Our development team had to register and integrate a dozen exchanges into our platform. Some of the exchanges require verification. Some didn't even have an API for all the currencies we wanted to incorporate into our exchange. The creation of the blockchain-based cryptocurrency exchange became our dream, and now we want to make it come true. Take a look. We're almost out of here. Decentralization. The data is not kept on a single server, but shared among all the users. It means that it's a decentralized exchange that cannot be taken down even by the government. There's no third party that you must entrust with your money. Each user holds the private keys to their own icons. Anonymity, no need to register. All you need is the client software, website, no wallet address, peer-to-peer. Transactions are person-to-person with no third-party involvement. You've got transparency. All deposits and withdrawals and order books are stored on the blockchain. Very fast as far as the speed, and it's a VPN. Many countries have firewalls that ban their residents from some of the services, but they have an integrated VPN that allows you from anywhere to get access to this good information. No trade limits. Currently, most exchanges have limits on what you can buy and sell. They have no limits. Their fees are very low. There will be no manipulation as well. Go ahead and hit them with the link, staff. Hit them with the fire. And some of you probably already have my crypto exchanger link. Yes. Now, crypto exchanger is a good one. It's already, I got it at like $1 I think it's at $3.73 right now. So I'm just loving it. Now I got a couple more. I can get you out of here. I'll get you out of here. I promise I'm gonna get you out of here. Block bid. Yeah. Guess what block bid is? Why block bid? It's an ultra secure exchange with the goal of facilitating the highest volume of trades for the most cryptocurrencies in a single login. Not only that, you can trade cryptos. Okay. Blockbit will support mainstream fiat currencies as well as other assets. It'll facilitate the trading of more coins on a single platform than any other exchange. And they're going to be one of the first exchanges to have your deposits fully insured with cybersecurity insurance. You've got the speed, easy access. Go Blockbit. And Blockbit has recently been shown in the media. Really powerful. Okay, Mountaineer. Blockbit, very powerful. Next, there is no link for Blockbit. Just go there and do your thing. One of my favorite parts here. Next generation of Bitcoin derivatives, BitMEX. You get up to 100 times leverage, trading without expiry dates, and it's Bitcoin settled. They got about almost 2 billion in volume, 2 billion in volume per day. That's a lot of volume. Mountaineer is probably left to go trade his BitMEX account right now. So you can see the 30-day volume is just over 56 billion yearly, about 129 billion, but they've got 150% more liquidity than any other Bitcoin futures firms. Their audits are done 100 audits per second, and they do manual withdrawals by hand once a day in one block and one bucket. So there is no fraud here or any hacking of the wallets. They will give you leverage, though. I'll tell you that much. Oh, yes. Hold on there. 100 to 1 on Bitcoin, 25 to 1 on Monero, and 50 to 1 on Ethereum. Go ahead and hit them with the link, staff. BitMEX. Pretty sure some of you already got my BitMEX link because I've been posting it online, going crazy with it. All right, now this section is going to be quick, so I got to get you guys out of here. Next section, Bitcoin debit cards, baby. Yeah. Go ahead and make that money, then spend that money. Yeah, go ahead and make that money, then send that money. Choose which debit card you want. We got the Bitcoin debit cards. There's a lot of Bitcoin debit cards out there right now. I'm just here to share with you which ones are the ones. So, let's see your options. You got 10x, and they got coins right now going for like $2.50. You could buy 10x. Pesa, Monaco. You could buy Monaco coins. Bitbase. Be careful with Bitbase. I wouldn't rock with Bitbase or Coinbase because Coinbase, a Shift card is Coinbase's card. Uquid is good. They've got coins right now as well. Another one. Hold on there. Uh-oh. Give me a second, you guys. Next. Spectro card, BitPay. I use BitPay. Gotta be careful with BitPay too because I do believe that's the government's card too. But for the most part, I have a institutional account, so it's my hedge fund account. It's not a personal account. Coinbase has a PayPal access card, and then you got CryptoPay. Okay, so there's a few different cards. Now we're at the end, the wind down. Introducing Block Traders Corner. The block for hard knock. The block where traders rock. And I, Reginald Ringgold, am here to knock you out your socks. Block Traders Corner. Coming to a corner near you. So we've got different different resources and developments that will be coming down the pike for you guys. Okay. How do I get the debit card? Well, stay tuned. Eric, you can call me personally, brother. You got my number. I'll tell you how. I'll walk you through it like I do everything else. Bid Unit Solutions is a division we're coming out with, as well as Block Traders Corner. Block Traders Corner will allow you to be able to go in and take advantage of just a multitude of different opportunities inside the crypto sector, but as well as learn how to navigate. There's a lot of different information that you can find on the crypto sector as a whole. Okay. But I think the resources in general are where you guys can benefit. We'll have a cryptocurrency calculator, okay, where you convert the coin, be able to understand exactly where you are, okay. And one second here. Now, normally, the slide deck isn't working on here, so I'm gonna have to do this a little bit different. Hold on. Normally, we're going to be going in deep, how to actually go ahead and put these offers in, set up wallets, send Bitcoin, receive Bitcoin, etc. So this really goes deep. And for those students that are inside the program now, the biggest thing that you'll learn here is that at Black Traders Corner, you earn while you learn. That means after day one, you start to earn profit. Okay. We use different strategies such as quantitative analysis, social signals, margin financing, historical data, machine learning, order book analysis, balance sheet analysis, technical analysis, and indicator analysis. Okay, there's a bunch of different things that you can do. I know, Thomas. A lot of different things that you can do to be able to take advantage. But obviously, we show you how to go about vetting the information by using the different techniques and how to use them properly. Okay. The dashboard that you'll have inside the Block Traders Corner is pretty neat, and there will be definitely more webinars to come. Okay. And I'm actually like to introduce that. I'm first time I'm saying this to the world and releasing it to the world, but we're coming out with the Block Traders brokerage, where you're going to have the ability to trade all these assets as long as they're digital assets on a digital asset platform. But here you can see that you'll have a dashboard with different information so that you can track the performance of your portfolio within the Block Traders Corner. You can also have the ability built into, can you get on Stellar and BitMEX? Yeah, you definitely can, John. You definitely can. Leverage trading, fully collateralized third-party collateral providers, robust tools, and trades passed to the market. So you'll be able to have an interface where you can go in and place trades to market. Another thing, as well as the trading desk, ability to do over-the-counter, okay, OTC, and social trading. Okay, we will be integrating social trading. So you can copy my trades as well as other investors' trading. And the next section, which is probably going to be one of the most powerful. All right, so simple index investing. Why should you be index investing rather than just investing in one coin? A lot of these coins, you really don't know where the coins are going to, pop. There's coins that end up being good coins. There are coins that end up being, just duds and not really moving much. So when you balance things with a balanced portfolio, you'll be able to experience a gain over the whole broad market. So here at Block Traders Corner, we'll give you the ability to be able to trade with the top 5 index, top 10 index, top 20, top 30, or top 50. So you can have all of the coins in the top 50 coin market cap all in your portfolio at the click of one mouse. Okay, so it's all at your fingertips. You can see the have I heard of any of these and do I like them? I heard of all of them and I love them. I'm using them, make money off them. This is why I'm referring them to you. The only way I haven't made money off them is if they're still in the ICO stage. So you've got the indices. You can see the different ones, but no matter whether it's top 5 or top 50, they're all showing a lot of growth. But my favorite, because this whole market is experiencing exponential growth, and I'm actually coming out with my own index coins. I'm just working on the ICOs for them now. It's a lot of money and time that goes into it, but I'm only one man. So you can see the top 50 index equally weighted. This is a very powerful one because you're able to take advantage of the top 50 coins. Okay, top 30 index as well. It's a very powerful one. But let's talk about the passive investor here. Okay, Caesar, are you still here, man? The passive investor. Before my class, most of you probably be sitting in front of the screen all day. Just staring at the screen, just staring and staring and staring. Now, Caesar, you see him on the right, that's Caesar after my class. Because I freed Caesar from the trap of just being stuck behind the laptop all day, every day. And you see he was happy that he made $21 too, poor Caesar. You can invest $21 and make a lot of money in this market. That's the beauty. I'm sure Caesar's probably laughing right now. But he actually got himself a nice, beautiful young lady who's been taking good care of him, and he's got a balanced life now. So looking nice. Okay. Let's see here. Last but not least, so most of the stuff that I have as far as the platform integrations, that stuff will be coming soon. Okay, but I will say one thing: the Traders Corner is available now. Okay, you can get access to the Traders Corner and the Intro to Crypto. For those of you who have Bitcoin and would like to get started now, here's my Bitcoin address. Okay, and you can send Bitcoin payment there. You can also send the email just to confirm, or you can sign up on the website. If you do send Bitcoin to this address, please write in the note that you are signing up for the crypto intro to crypto course, etc. I know most of you probably will not be paying like this. This is kind of like my way of showing you that this is how easy you can pay with Bitcoin. So outside of that, you guys now have the key to your financial future. Okay? It's up to you to take advantage. I've given you the tools. What are you going to do about it? Cordell, I know. Yes. All right, you guys. Any questions? If there are any questions, you can ask now. If not, I'm going to get out of here. Excellent. Well, I will go ahead and play the music on the way out. I really enjoyed you guys. Appreciated you. All of you that came out, thank you. We will be having these more often. Obviously, this is probably the most in-depth one that we're having for free. The other ones will go in deep detail, but not probably this deep. We'll be going over certain topics and certain sections, okay? All right now. Well, I'll see you guys later. Thank you.